For anyone dealing with grief or a challenging time in their life?
I think it's okay to just be in touch with your emotions and to not be afraid of them.
Let's discuss something that's been bubbling in the background, something this show has not fully spelled out. But we can sense it in our belly at the core of the family drama. It goes deeper and murkier than everyone thinks. And at its center is Robyn. Now, if you've been paying attention, you've likely caught that Robyn was extremely adamant about keeping Meri around. There's a reason for that. And it's not merely sisterly affection seen in old-fashioned polygamist households. It's not all. One big happy family. Actually, Robyn's own childhood was quite different. Her father had several wives, but they barely socialized. He'd celebrate major holidays. Christmas with one wife, and the others would have their own celebrations later. That sort of separation was ordinary, so when Robyn came into Kody's family, she was expecting something that felt more normal, something in which the wives generally stayed in their own lanes. But what she stepped into was a room full of women who had raised their children together as a big team, and that sense of unit, it rocked her. Robyn tends to wax lyrical about their experience in Las Vegas, while labeling it a beautiful season. But let's just say Janelle, Meri, and Christine have different memories about it. For them, Vegas was when the rest of the family started falling apart. That's when Robyn and the children officially started distancing themselves from everyone else. Her push to keep Meri close, it all begins to make sense when you examine the dynamic to Robyn. The ideal sister wife was a woman like Meri, someone who was already emotionally discarded by Kody, someone who mostly stayed to herself, didn't pose a threat, and still brought in money to add to the communal family coffers, leaving Robyn a little bit more wiggle room to have, and maybe, most significantly, someone Robyn could manipulate when she needed to consider it. With no other powerful sister wives in the picture, and there is no comparison, no competition. And that means Robyn gets more of Kody's time, attention, and approval. Now jealousy. Oh, it's definitely part of the equation. Robyn's exhibited lots of it, and particularly towards Christine. A lot of fans think she quietly alienated Christine from Kody throughout the years, but Janelle, that's a different ballgame altogether. Robyn never did manage to pin Janelle down. Janelle's always been the steady one, the practical one who has a deep concern for the family unit as a whole. She wasn't caught up in the power place, and then when Janelle did finally see that she wasn't getting her equal share, particularly when Robyn landed her dream home and Janelle didn't, well, that was an experience of profound betrayal. But Janelle's no pushover. She's smart. She knows how to press Kody's buttons, and she does it in a way that's subtle but powerful. Just think back to that moment when she asked about Meri's legal divorce and Robyn's official marriage to Kody. She wasn't just asking for fun. She was pointing out the shifting power dynamics in the family, and Robyn, she had no idea how to respond. Janelle also wasn't afraid to suggest some seriously bad behavior, not by tossing labels around or anything, but still clearly enough for those who are listening. She doesn't beat around the bush when it matters. And don't forget about the RV chapter. While Robyn was living in her big house, Janelle decided to reside in an RV out on Coyote Pass just to keep herself working towards her dream of having her own home. Her humility and simplistic way of life brought out Kody and Robyn's priorities in a new light. Remember that little incident with the luggage wreck? The look of satisfaction on Janelle's face was all the answer when needed. It was a small win, but a significant one. She also had a knack of reminding Meri of what was real, now exactly how to coax her into playing along when she was needed to. Robyn, Meri was not a harmless ex, but the measuring stick against which Robyn measured her own success, and naturally, money had its part to play in all this as well. Robyn may feel she won, but come on, was Kody the catch? The other wives have apparently made their choice loud and clear. They're finished, and for a person like Robyn, who appears to feed on being the chosen one, that must hurt. Let's discuss the ego trip Kody led Robyn on, and why it's done so much harm. Being the chosen one provided Robyn with more than mere bragging rights. It was an outright confidence. Builder lastly, she wasn't merely some person's second or third choice. She was the wife, but this is the thing, Robyn did not necessarily want the entire big family lifestyle on a day-to-day basis. She enjoyed the notion of a cohesive family, of course. But ideally, when it was for her own benefit, you know, Christmas cards, family announcements, TLC filming days, but in real life, it was just Robyn, her children, and Kody. Everybody else was in the background noise category. There was even consideration. At one time, that Robyn offered to be a surrogate for Meri sounds altruistic, doesn't it? But some think that she only did this knowing that Kody would never go along with it. Whether she floated it past him beforehand or just used it as a story. One thing seems pretty clear. There was never a real chance that Robyn was going to carry Meri's baby, and deep down, maybe Meri even knew it was all for show. Okay, now let's change gears and discuss cash and why Kody and Robyn shouldn't get a dime from the older kids or the Og3 wives, because honestly, it's ridiculous. So Kodys now whining that Janelle, Christine, and Meri aren't contributing money-wise to Robyn's two youngest children. Give me a break. Provide one good reason why they should. One, they've already done more than their share, and in the meantime, Robyn and Kody are sitting on a pile of things they could sell. Things were that bad. I mean, there's artwork, trinkets, and knickknacks, Kody's expensive watch collection, Robyn's stacks of high-end jewelry, and don't even get me started on her notorious doll hoard. Yes, dolls, box after box of them. And here's the kicker: when they sold off part of the Coyote Pass land, that cash came mainly from the family fund. Yep, that means Janelle and Meri paid into it. Robyn and Kody, not so much. But when the money came in, guess who benefited the most? So no, don't come knocking on Janelle or Christine's door asking for help with your bills. They've already sacrificed plenty. And don't forget Isabel's surgery story. Christine got to take their daughter for a major procedure without Kody, the doctors and nurses kept reassuring her, your dad will be here soon. And Christine had to explain gently he's not going to be here. It broke her heart. Isabel needed her daddy, Christine. She did just fine, but Isabel, she was worth better. And Kody didn't contribute a single penny toward that surgery. So why should anyone sympathize with him? Now, Christine even had to go to court just to have him make consistent child support payments on Truly and those older children. Let's not forget, they worked long hours on that show before Robyn's children even existed. And what did they receive in return? Not a lot. You want to talk about who's stepping up to support Truly? That would be Christine and David, acting like responsible, caring adults. Meanwhile, Kody still acts like the world owes him something. Simply because he's Kody Brown. It's time Kody woke up, put his foot down, and began to behave like a grown man. Perhaps he could begin by assisting Robyn in reining in her spending sprees, because heaven forbid those dolls aren't going to pay the mortgage. But rather than this, he leans on everybody else, particularly the women he dumped to clean up after him. Unbelievable. You know what really doesn't sit right with folks?
My Achilles heel is my kids. I'm gonna be super emotional when it comes to my kids. It's just that one place that just gets me every time.
Kody and Robyn claiming they're struggling to support their two youngest kids while living in $1 million home and handing out expensive jewelry to everyone like it's candy. Really, if you can swing a luxury house, fancy toys, and yet another ATV, surely paying for your own children shouldn't be a problem. But rather than examine their own mirrors, Kody and Robyn are finger pointing at everyone else, blaming the family for the kids' isolation. Come on, they've been pushing Saul and Ari away from the rest of the family for years, and now suddenly it's everybody else's job to fix that gap. And of course, they're bitter still with Christine for what? Filing for child support. That's right, Christine had the audacity to request that Kody support his own son. Financially shocking. And in the meantime, Yogi 13, those original children of Kody's previous marriages, scraped by the same way. Cash was scarce, but they improvised. They didn't have personal nannies and private school like Saul and Ari, who've gotten to live off the luxuries of being on television, are portrayed as the victims. Now let's not forget how Kody spins it all. He's always got a reason why it's not his fault. But when Sister Wives ends, which it likely will after The next season, it'll be interesting to see how he and Robin manage to maintain that high-flying lifestyle. Spoiler alert, Christine, Janelle, and Mary all have income now. They've created their own businesses, and none of their money is from Robin's. Kids, they're independent, and that's more than you can say for Kody's situation right now. Let's keep it simple. Let's say you went back to one of your exes you never legally wed and asked them, "Hey, can you pay for the adopted kids I have with my current spouse?" That's the level of reasoning Kody is dealing with. It's ridiculous, and the children sacrifice their own dreams, no college, no wedding assistance, because Robin isn't getting the support from women. Kody essentially ran out of the household. It's the usual game of blame. Nothing's ever Kody's or Robin's fault, while that over here, Saul and Ari get to enjoy private education, the best medical care, mounds of toys, and all the adoration imaginable. Robin's older children designer purses, new vehicles, ballet lessons, pick any indulgence. Each has their own bedroom, and you can bet that swanky guest house belongs to Dayton and Aurora, two adults who should be out earning their own keep. By now, put that in contrast with Christine, who had to take Kody to court just to get him to appear financially for Truly, or Savannah, who received nothing in high school, Isabel's zero assistance for her back surgery. Something no parent should overlook, and most of Kody's sons, they pay their own college tuition by military service work or with assistance from their moms. Let's be real, the odd kids have been holding their own for decades. They raised Robin's kids too without receiving anything in return, and Kody claims no gave Christine her down payment. First of all, Christine's house was her sanctuary, and second, Christine's already made it clear Kody won't be getting a dime from the sale. Good for her. The reality, none of the first wives owe Kody or Robin anything, and the adult children don't owe them a relationship either, particularly when it's obvious they're being used as emotional or financial pawns. And just when you think Kody can't get any lower, along comes the poignant moment after Garrison dies. You'd think that kind of tragedy would mellow anyone out, that perhaps there'd be some compassion or mercy between former spouses during a terrible loss. But no, Kody took their initial conversation after Garrison died as an opportunity to lash out at Janelle. Rather than grieving their son together, he blamed and attacked her, bitter, cold, defensive. "Well, all you're doing is yelling at me," he snapped. "Yeah, I've got anger issues." And it was painful to watch. Janelle has never tried to interfere in Kody's relationship with the kids. She's respected his role as their father even when he didn't deserve it, and she's carried herself with quiet strength, raising her kids without bitterness, without drama. Yet Kody still chose hostility. It told us more about him than it will ever tell us about her, even in the aftermath of losing his own son. Kody's response has been nothing short of appalling. Rather than taking that moment to reflect, be compassionate, or even simply behave like a decent human being, he's doubled down on entitlement, rage, and blame. No humility, no grace, no recognition of the suffering that others were enduring, particularly Janelle, the person most present for Garrison. What the audience witnessed was not merely a man grieving, it was a man completely absorbed in himself. The persona Kody had been wearing for all those years fully dropped, and in place of it, something uglier, the self-pity and resentment that would have otherwise been filled with grief and maturation. Let's get real, Garrison's death ought to have been an awakening, a reboot, but Kody made it an extension of the same unhealthy cycle. He didn't ask himself how he could help his family. He blamed others, and Robin, always right there next to him, reflected that same energy. No responsibility, no learning, just more excuses. And that leads us to Janelle, tough, unflappable, and finished when she expressed that she didn't want to ever deal with Kody again. That wasn't moment of angst drama. That was kaput. Whatever did happen, most likely at the funeral of Garrison. They went so far past the line, there's no crossing back. There are even rumors circulating that Kody demanded a share of Garrison's inheritance. If that's even remotely possible, it's more than gross. Let's be crystal clear, suicide is a multi-layered, heartbreaking tragedy. But it's also crystal clear that Kody's consistent rejection, control, and descending Like, look at this. And we all know. I've been exploring. Which M? I've been exploring that by M. Then gross, let's be crystal clear. Suicide is unclear. With clay or with a calm word recede. I've been like clay to laid. I see if we see with see and with clankir kandai, kunweed with class. With these.con with clenwow with the way to conway to get out of cleftica clay class sevdo we to clay geki to you to I do you I could can I with you to get a kick you to cook put you with it you to with it you to I give in quick like get it to cat with I was he yes we could cast Emotional unavailability of his kids, particularly his sons, were a factor in Garrison's anguish and the manner in which he still blames. Janelle Ho was the sole constant parent Garrison ever knew. That's not grief. That's narcissism, and the best. Part Cody, all of it on live television, no attempt at all to appear kind, supportive, or even human. Just raw bitterness. It was uncomfortable to watch. He didn't just reveal himself. He torched every remaining bridge on national TV. Now, let's discuss. Cody's so-called shared expenses model, it's a scam, always has been. Cody makes it all seem like he's this responsible. Family Guy splitting bills equally, but that's not. What happened, what he really meant was after the OG wife's children were adults. Or moved out, he was done with them, but Robin's children, no such luck. He still expects the rest of the family to chip in and pay for those bills. The hypocrisy staggering when truly Isabel and Savannah were still children, still legally his. Responsibility, he was checked out emotionally and financially, but when it comes to Saul and Ari, all of a sudden, the duty. To the kids is gospel. And you can bet that Robin was never kept in the cold financially when she joined the family. The Browns didn't merely take her in, they picked up her bills, her car insurance, food, even a roof for her head, all taken care of. Cody and Robin can say. She didn't receive a paycheck from the show, but semantics, the money came in either directly or via expenses. Paid for. Robin was provided for. They also want you to forget history.
Knowing that he's not with us, but then I realize I'm just going to have to embrace that pain because it's never going to go away. It's always going to be there. There's always going to be a Garrison-sized hole.
But Cody, fans remember, there's video evidence, lots of it. Robin arrived, got assistance with her finances, and then promptly became the focal point of Cody's universe. The rest of the family had to look out for themselves. Cody's white sports car. Oh, that wasn't for the family. That was his baby. Meanwhile, the kids he had with Mary, Christine, and Janelle were barely getting by. And now those women are supposed to contribute to Robin's children? It's insulting and the greatest irony of all. The original wives and children, those are the ones who created the empire. The fans came out to see them, not the reimagined family that Cody and Robin attempted to force us to accept. Fine if Cody and Robin wish to live large, but don't cry for sympathy. Don't beg for handouts, and don't try to rewrite history because we all witnessed it transpire. Let's not act like Robin wasn't spoiled while the rest of the family was cruising around in broken down old vehicles. Robin was breezing through town in an almost new. You really think she paid for that herself? Please, someone was making those payments. And we all know it wasn't Robin. And what about the $30,000 supposedly stolen from the Jessup family? That wasn't loose change, that was cash. Her ex-husband's family had to front her for credit card debt she kept under wraps. Consider this hidden debts. Another family footing the bill, and Robin entering the Brown family carrying baggage others paid for. Cody was aware of all of it, and he didn't care when Cody coerced the family to relocate to Flagstaff. Did he have anyone in mind other than Robin and the children? Not at all. He said it was a sensible financial decision. While it was really a disaster, they gave up on homes and loss. Vegas paid exorbitant rents in Arizona, and the Vegas houses lingered on the market indefinitely. The true motivation: Robin didn't care for Vegas. Dayton needed to attend school somewhere else, and Robin had to be around him, and so the entire family relocated for her, but Kody marketed it like it was all about building a future for the whole family. That was a lie, a blatant, manipulative lie. Then there's the issue of child support and college funds. Kody says he wants to support the younger kids, but he doesn't mean all the younger kids. He means Robin's kids. Not truly, not even trust the second he has to start paying real support. Suddenly the pot runs dry, but he still expects Christine, Janelle, and even Mary to keep contributing too. Saul and Aries lives. It's so absurd, it's offensive. Let's get one thing straight, following Kody's rules won't keep your marriage intact. It never has, and it never will. Mary is living proof. She did everything Kody ever wanted. She played the good sister-wife role to perfection while Christine and Janelle were fighting with Robin's arrival. Mary embraced her with open arms. She wasn't just tolerant. She was supportive, encouraging, even celebratory. And what did she receive in return? Humiliation. Let's not forget Mary divorced Kody legally just so he could marry Robin and adopt Robin's kids. She sacrificed her status, her position, her identity, all in the name of unity and sacrifice. She played it like it was her holy mission. She was supposed to be the MVP of Kody's plural family game, but what happened? Kody treated her as if she were nothingness. She were a stray dog asking for table scraps, while he accuses Christine and Janelle of disloyalty for having the temerity to desire emotional intimacy and true connection. Mary sat in quiet. She waited. She hoped. She held the door open, even when it was apparent that Kody had slammed it shut. And what did he do? He ghosted her. He made her appear a pathetic, clingy ex who just could not get the hint. And then with a heart of ice, Kody gazed into the cameras and delivered the line nobody will ever forget: I don't really consider myself married to Mary. Like that, no shame, no honor, just a plain admission that he had left her emotionally years ago, yet kept her as a companion for appearance's sake. So explain it to me again. Why would someone stick up for this man? Decades of devotion, and Mary was rewarded with nothing but cold shoulders and shattered dreams. No sympathy, just raw rejection, coated with Kody's egomania. And then there was the ultimate slap in the face, the famous Land Saga. Suddenly, all the money she had worked and contributed over the years and all the loyalty didn't count. Why? Because she only had one child. That's it. That was the reason Kody manipulated the reasoning until it broke again to serve Robin. It's not a family plan. It's a Robin plan, always has been. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it, just constantly shifting rules according to whatever keeps Robin happy. Want proof Robin's got it all? The legal marriage, emotional intimacy, the largest house, the sole access, and yet she's the one always crying on TV like she's the biggest victim. She talks like polygamy. It was her dream, but while Christine, Janelle, and Mary were out here trying to make the plural family work, actually sharing a husband, Robin got the fantasy package. No sharing, no struggle, just front row seats to Kody's undivided attention. And then Kody has the gall to sit there and say, I feel like I've been kicked out of my own club. Excuse me, what, he burned down the club? He poured every last dollar into Robin's ventures, garish, overpriced baubles, gaudy art ventures, and whatever else occupied her time. He redefined all of the rules on the fly, and then once everyone finally left, he sulked in the ruins as if he's the injured party. No, Kody, you didn't get thrown out. You left first. Mary, the good sister wife, did it all by the book. She smiled, she supported, she actually relinquished her legal marriage so Kody could be married to Robin. She was the model, and what did she receive? Rejected, dismissed, thrown on the curb. And when she attempted to visit during after doing everything safety-wise, Robin still said no. Why? It wouldn't be fair to the other sister wives. Oh please, that wasn't about fairness, that was about power. Let's be real. Robin did not want Mary around. Never did. That fairness argument was a handy fib when Kody eagerly co-signed. But the best part?